Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the WD Broadcasting Network. Tonight we are back with the Street Stock Showdown division for the Leave the Pack iRacing League. Took a week break, I should say. Last week, the Super Late Models had a doubleheader right here at the Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway. They'll be back in action later tonight at the Southern National Motorsports Park. But last time we raced here in the Street Stocks, it was at the Myrtle Beach Speedway, and Brandon Elvis ended up taking the victory there at his home track, his third victory of the season. And as you can imagine, coming into this evening, he is the points leader by 56 points over Zach Murphy. James Pileski right now running in the third spot, just 95 points back. Chris Smith, ninth, with 2 victories this season. Smith picking up his only 2 career victories this season here in the Street Stock, so he's got these cars figured out. He is your final driver to qualify. Well, only driver on track right now, I should say. We've still got 2 drivers yet to make a lap. But Smith across the stripe right there, final lap around. A little bit slower on that final lap, but enough for third quick right now. Look at the gaps on this left side of your screen, though, between your top 5. Wow. Talk about close. We'll look at the lap times right there. A 20.09 to a 20.10 and a 20.10 again. These guys are very, very close, and that's saying a lot. A lot of times when you see close times like that, it's at a different track where the a little bit smaller. Everybody's kind of on that same little exact bubble of time, I should say. All in that same little line, but here at Nashville, things are a little bit different. The line is a lot different throughout the field. Or people drive the track a lot differently, and often you don't see times that close, but very close here in qualifying. So I think we've got about 4 minutes left. And right now, Austin Godfrey sitting provisional pole. Let's grab a word from him and see how he's feeling. Austin Godfrey up in the broadcast booth. You got a copy, buddy?
Yes, sir.
Alrighty, well, quick time here as of right now. We've still got 2 drivers left to go, but with the time you've got right there, it looks like you may have this one locked in the bag. What's it going to take here tonight? 50 laps, no invert this evening, so you're going to start from the pole. What's it going to take to keep the field behind you all 50 laps of this race?
Just staying consistent. Just consistent's the main thing. Staying out front.
Yeah, you definitely have to keep that car out front and keep the field at bay. All 50 laps are going to be important. You got to be consistent all 50 of those laps. Sounds like you've got a pretty good game plan. Who do you have to thank for the fast time here this evening?
Just you for everything you do for us. That's about it.
Yeah, it's been fun, and thank you for the appreciation there. Looks like qualifying has wrapped up. You are officially the pole sitter, so you're going to get 10 extra bonus points here tonight and have a pretty good starting spot for tonight's 50-lap main event. Good luck, Austin.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Alrighty, that was your fast qualifier, Austin Godfrey, and now let's take a look at our starting lineup as the field makes their way down on the grid. Let's go trackside here. As you see your starting lineup beginning to take form on the grid. On the pole, we just talked to him, the number 1 machine of Austin Godfrey. Still looking for that first win in one of the top divisions of Leave the Pack. He has 2 Leave the Pack iRacing League victories, but that was back in the mini stock days last season. Now, they are Leave the Pack wins, but it would mean a lot more to Austin to get a victory in one of these top 4 divisions, especially the Street Stock division, where he's shown so much speed and so much promise, but has not gotten the finish to show for it. So Godfrey going to try to go for it from the top spot here this evening. He'll have Brian Gravel to his outside, and obviously we know what Brian Gravel can do. He went to victory lane last week here at the Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway in the Street Stock division, or Super Late Model division, sorry. Chris Smith in the third spot in the 80. He's got 2 victories this season. He's going to try to go for a third from the third position here this evening. Brandon Elvis will roll off from the 4th spot, a 3-time winner on the season. Trying to pick up that 4th one. Adam Fulford in the 71 will roll off from the 5th spot, making a limited, or a rare, I should say, street stock start. Probably his first, or one of, if not the first start for him this season. To his outside, it'll be Jeremiah Woods Jr. in the 222 machine. Still looking for that first Lead the Pack iRacing League victory. He'll do it from the 6th spot here tonight. James Pileski got his first victory a couple weeks ago in the modified division. We'll roll off 7th here tonight. Zach Murphy had a photo finish with Caleb Thompson at this racetrack Monday night. Ended up in the 2nd spot. He'll roll off 8th tonight. Starting in the 9th spot, winner of week number 1 at the Kern County Raceway Park, Easton Swain in the 33 machine. We'll have Brady Cox in the 76 to his outside, rounding out your top 10 starters. In the 11th spot, it's going to be Logan Drumheller, your pole sitter from Monday night's modified race. You'll have Brandon Kelly in the 9, starting 12th to his outside. And rounding out your field out back, Kyle Heinzelman will roll off 13th in the 57. That'll be Drew Mason in the 67. Then Mark Foucault in the 15 will roll off, or in the 6 will roll off 15th. As the field makes their way down into turns 3 and 4, the pace car is off to the safety of pit road. And for the first time this evening, we're going to be green through the restart zone. The green is up, the green is out. We're underway. Watch the field race down into turns 1 and 2. Through the corner they go. Austin Godfrey going to take a peek out in front, but here comes Brian Grable up on the top side. Everybody down the back straightaway. We're nearly 3 wide, and we are 3 wide for that 2nd spot. Brandon Elvis in the middle right there. Adam Fulford down low. Brian Grable going backwards in a hurry, though. Grable started in that 2nd spot after lap number 1. Going to be back to the 5th spot. Under pressure from James Pileski down low for the 5th position. Brandon Elvis started this race in the 4th spot. He's going to try to take Adam Fulford on the outside right there. Fulford trying to get the momentum on the bottom, but looks like the outside lane is rolling here early on. Brian Grable in the 22, pushing the 54 of Brandon Elvis. Grable now will take position on the outside of Adam Fulford. No, there's contact back behind. Looked like Jeremiah Woods might have came off the wall a little bit there and gotten into Zach Murphy. Murphy's going to go to the bottom. As into turns 1 and 2, things begin to settle down a little bit, but a hectic start there. We were 3 wide for a moment in turns 3. Everybody kept it clean and green in the right direction. As Austin Godfrey begins to open up that gap a little bit. Chris Smith in the 2nd spot, a 2-time winner this season. Under pressure from a 3-time winner, Brandon Elvis. Elvis, the winningest driver in Street Stock Showdown history. In the 2 seasons that we've ran this division, he has picked up 7 victories. The next closest driver is 4, and that's his teammate Justin Coleman. Elvis down low underneath Chris Smith, going to try to take over the 2nd spot. It looks like he will do so into turns 1 and 2. Brian Grable right there in the 22 machine trying to take advantage of Smith up on the outside, but looks like Smith in the 80 going to get back down to the safety of the bottom lane. Everybody single file throughout your field as Adam Fulford takes a peek to the inside of Brian Grable. Fulford down low trying to battle for the 4th position. Into the corner right there. Grable nearly shutting the door, and there's contact. Adam Fulford got to the left rear quarter panel right there. Looks like Grable's going to be able to hang on to it. Here comes James Pileski trying to break into the top 5. Pileski down low. Fulford up top. Turns 3 and 4. You see the 93 machine kind of sliding into the corner there on the entry. Very easy to do here in the Street Stocks as Fulford's able to get clear up on the top side and back into the 5th position. Look back towards the front. Brandon Elvis about half a second behind your race leader, Austin Godfrey, this time. As we've got 10 laps in out of our 50-lapper. It's going to be a quick one here at the Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway, but it's going to feel like a long time here in these Street Stocks, especially because we have ran every other division at this track but the Street Stocks. The last trip to Nashville Fairgrounds this season right here tonight. Lap 11 up on the board. Austin Godfrey continuing to show the way. Doing a good job. We'll go on board with Brandon Elvis down the back straightaway. Try to see what he is seeing into the corner. You see the bumps in the center of turns 3 and 4 right there. When we get down to 1 and 2, you're going to see how bad they really get. The bottom of the racetrack down here gets very bumpy. You see the car bouncing up and down on the exit of the corner, but Elvis does a good job of keeping enough throttle off of the corner to not upset that race car too much. So we head down into turns 1 and 2. Godfrey continuing to show the way. Battle out back. Easton Swain able to get around Jeremiah Woods Jr. Brady Cox going to take a peek down low as well. Brady Cox had a good run going in the late model stock division last night. Unfortunately got caught up in some incidents late in the race, was unable to finish up where he was running near the top 5. As Zach Murphy and James Pileski tango for that 6th position. Murphy on the bottom, Pileski up top. Looks like Pileski's having a little bit of trouble getting that car into the corner. You see him kind of sliding the right sides on corner entry. He was way up the track that time off the corner, exiting turn 2. Looks like he's able to hang on to it, but Murphy definitely getting the advantage there on the bottom. Down into 1 and 2 one more time. Murphy over the bumps. That's where Pileski's able to roll that car back up on the outside. You see him even into turns 3 and 4. Inside lane really gets the advantage on the entry of the corner, but if you can keep the throttle in it and keep enough momentum in that car, you see the outside lane start to pull back at the end of the straightaway and you have an even run into the next corner. But Pileski might be starting to use up a little bit of the good in those right side tires, and you see Murphy able to get by after battling with the 93 for a couple laps. And when they were side by side, notice the gap that Adam Fulford picked up in the 71 machine. He had some pressure from James Pileski, and when those two got side by side, Fulford was able to open up that gap. As your top 4 come around to complete lap number 18. We've got 18 laps in, 32 to go. Chris Smith up the racetrack in the 80 machine. I think he saw the pressure from Brian Gravel in his rearview mirror, decided it's not quite time for me to go yet. Moved up the racetrack and let that 22 machine have the spot for now. Lap number 20 on the board. Austin Godfrey has shown the way from the get-go. But Brandon Elvis is starting to creep closer in division. Last time we announced the gap, it was about a half a second. Now, cut that in half, it's about a quarter of a second on the straightaways. Elvis trying to reel in that one machine. It looks like he's finding something here. We talked to Godfrey post-race, and he said the key to this race was going to be consistency, keeping that car pointed in the right direction and keeping this field behind all race long. And now he's going to have to be more consistent than ever, because Elvis right there in the 54 is breathing down his neck. We've got 28 laps to go across the line that time. Elvis is really starting to creep closer there as they enter turns 3 and 4. We look a little bit further back. Easton Swain is reeled in the 93 of James Pileski. The battle on track for the 7th position right now. Swain has a victory this season, picked up the first victory of the season at the Kern County Raceway Park in dramatic fashion, a 3-wide photo finish where Easton Swain led by inches across the line. As up front we've got a battle for the lead. Elvis down low underneath Austin Godfrey. There was a little bit of contact going into turns 1 and 2 that time. Godfrey going to shut the door once again. He's saying, nope, not that easy, Brandon. You're going to have to show a little bit more than that. As they get across the line that time, just shy of halfway. It'll be halfway this time by. And Austin Godfrey is really feeling the heat now from Brandon Elvis. Into turns 3 and 4. Cross flag is going to be up in the air, halfway in, halfway home. 25 laps to go for Austin Godfrey, trying to pick up win number 1 here in the Street Stock Showdown division. We look back once again on the battle for the 7th position. Swain down low, Pileski trying to hold him tight. There's a little bit of contact there in the center. Up in front of them, Zach Murphy looked like he got underneath Adam Fulford for the 5th spot. So move Murphy up into the top 5 with 24 laps to go. Thought Brandon Elvis might have had a run right there into the first set of corners. But Godfrey able to hang on for now. Pileski and Swain still battling for that 7th position. These two have been hard at it, just trying to find a way. Looks like Pileski had it at the line that time, but not by much. Swain really drives it into the corner right there. Zach Murphy underneath Chris Smith there into turns 3 and 4. Move Murphy up to the 4th spot. Adam Fulford going to try to take advantage as well. He'll move up into the top 5 once again. So we've got 21 laps to go. We're watching the battle for the 7th position. James Pileski and Easton Swain have been side by side for a lot of laps now. Looks like Pileski finally able to get back out in front and clear the 33 machine, but his tires have got to be hot after running the outside for that long, and you can see right there, Pileski not able to hold the bottom off the corner. Swain going to go right back to the bottom, and we're right back where we started with 20 laps to go. 19 to go right here for Austin Godfrey. He's got 2 of the Leave the Pack iRacing League's best right on his back bumper. Brandon Elvis, the all-time winningest driver in Leave the Pack. And Brian Gravel, the man who picked up the victory last week in the Street Stock division. We'll see what he sees down into turns 3 and 4. Yeah, you can see how tight these guys are going into the corner. Not any room for mistakes whatsoever. If Brian Gravel gets into the corner a little bit too hot, he's into the back bumper of the 54, and then the 54 is into the back bumper of the 1 machine. You've got 2 drivers angry at you. Not what you want to do. You got to be very patient if you're Brian Gravel in that 22 machine. To not give somebody the bumper a little bit too hard and also give them the boot. Check back in on the battle for the 7th spot. Looks like Easton Swain able to get around Brady Cox to the inside of the 93 machine. '93 up on the outside lane, holding the 76 machine very tight into 1 and 2. The tires definitely starting to fade on that 93 machine. As we get into the deeper stages of this race, it'll be 15 to go this time around. 15 to go for Austin Godfrey, trying to pick up that first Street Stock Showdown win. As Brady Cox does make that move work on the inside of James Pileski. Further back for that final spot in the top 10, Kyle Heinzelman underneath Jeremiah Woods Jr. in the triple twos. Woods up top, trying to make the outside lane work. Heinzelman down low, trying to get that car rotated. Logan Drumheller right there as well. As we look back up front, battle for the 2nd spot. Here comes Brian Gravel to the bottom. 13 laps to go. Brian Gravel to the 2nd spot. Brandon Elvis tried to cross him over right there, but was not able to do so. Elvis going to try to get back to that 2nd spot, but now Brian Gravel has an opportunity here to try and steal the victory. Remember last week on Wednesday night, the Super Late Model Division, race number 1 was won by Brian Gravel, but who did he pass to win? It was that 1 machine of Austin Godfrey. He had to get around him, and I believe he got around him just after the halfway point. And Gravel went on to get his 2nd Super Series win of the season. He loved to pick up a win in the Street Stock Showdown division. Has not gotten one this season. It would be his first in the Street Stock Showdown. As this time by, it will be 10 laps to go for Austin Godfrey. And look who's creeping into the picture right there. The 29 machine of Zach Murphy starting to move his way forward. He loves the Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway. He had a good run Monday night. Does he have something left in the tank here? That last time by, he was the fastest car on the racetrack. Don't look now, folks, but here comes that 29 machine. We'll check the times that last lap, and look at that right there. Out of your top 5, Zach Murphy the quickest in the 29, but does he have enough time to get to the front? As this time around, it'll be 8 laps to go. Drew Mason down pit road in the 67. We've got 8 laps to go, and Austin Godfrey has got a mirror full of Brian Gravel. Gravel in the second spot, all over the back bumper of Austin Godfrey. Into turns 3 and 4. You see Gravel kind of cutting that corner a little bit straighter up off, and that's how he's able to get that run down the front straightaway, nearly pushing the one machine down into turns 1 and 2. Gravel in the 22 going to try to get a run down the backstretch here. He's got a good run in the 22. Into turns 3 and 4. Here comes the move down low. Brian Gravel to the bottom, trying to challenge for the lead. 6 laps to go at the line. Looks like Godfrey able to hang on in the outside lane for now. Gravel's going to have to set it up again, but Godfrey definitely feeling the pressure now. Gravel going to think about taking the move to the inside. He'll be patient and wait on it here. He's going to have to set up the perfect run up off the corner, and is it right here? 5 laps to go. Gravel looking to the inside. Into turns 1 and 2, a big run there. The one machine going to have to counter move it on the outside lane. They drag race down the back straightaway. Brian Gravel, Austin Godfrey side by side into turns 3 and 4. Top spot on the line, 2 by 2. Your top 4 under a blanket with 4 laps to go. Give it to Godfrey at the line that time. And they're door banging into turns 1 and 2. Godfrey holding that one machine down very tight. Into turns 3 and 4, the one on the top side of the racetrack, trying to keep the momentum wound up on the top side. 3 laps to go at the line. 3 to go for Austin Godfrey, trying to hang on for his first Leave the Pack Street Stock Showdown victory. Brian Gravel trying to take the victory and pick up his first Street Stock Showdown win. This time by into turns 3 and 4. Popsicle sticks up at the line. 2 laps to go for Austin Godfrey. Godfrey in the second spot, Godfrey in the front, under pressure from Brian Gravel. Gravel down the back straightaway into turns 3 and 4. All over the back bumper. Second to last time out of turns 3 and 4. White flag is out one more time around. Final lap at Nashville Fairgrounds, down into turns 1 and 2. Gravel into the back bumper of the one machine. Might have stalled his run up off the corner into turns 3 and 4 for the final time. Does Brian Gravel have anything left up and out of turns 3 and 4? It's going to be Austin Godfrey winning at Fairgrounds. Austin Godfrey takes the win here at the Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway. Brian Gravel so close in that second spot in the 22. Zach Murphy ends up in the 3rd spot on the podium for the 3rd night in a row. That 29 machine finishes in the top 3. But a heck of a run from Austin Godfrey on the front straightaway, going to burn it down here. Win number 1 in the Leave the Pack Street Stock Showdown. It's been a long time coming for that one machine, but Austin Godfrey finally visits victory lane, and it's right here at the Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway. We'll be right back, folks, in just a moment to grab a word from our top 3 finishers. Wrap things up here at the Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway when we return. Be right back in just a moment. Alrighty, folks, we're back here on the WD Broadcasting Network. Going to grab a word from our top 3 finishers, starting with our third place finisher up into the broadcast booth for the third night in a row. Zach Murphy, you got a copy.
I got you, buddy.
Alrighty, well, drove it to the front there at the end. Maybe we had 10 more laps. That 29 machine would have been right there in that battle for the lead, but picked up another podium here this week. How do you feel after 3 straight top 3 finishes?
I feel pretty good for sure, man. Definitely wish I could qualify a little better. I got to figure out the whole qualifying thing, but had some speed in the car tonight, and yeah, it was fun battling, fun race where it was a green flag run there, and yeah, I think if I would have had some track position to start, like you said, could have battled for the lead. But either way, it was really fun. Had some good battles out there, especially with Brandon there at the last 5-10 laps. Always fun racing with him. Yeah, happy to be on the podium again.
Yeah, it's always good to talk to you up here in the booth, Zach. We've gotten to talk to you a lot this week. That 29 machine has really had a lot of speed, and I think it's part due to that Nashville Fairgrounds thing. You and I both really love this track. We've done a couple hosted races here. It's been a lot of fun, but a good run for you here once again this evening. Who do you have to thank for another top 3?
Yeah, Nashville's definitely one of my favorites. Yeah, just got to thank Justin over at Coleman Designs for the wrap on the car. Got to thank Whitney Automotive. Got to thank Adam down at Race Room 3. And got to thank you, Winston, for putting on the league and the broadcast.
Yes, sir, Zach. It's been fun. We've got one more race here tonight. We've got Supers at Southern National. How are you feeling going into that race with a lot of momentum, 3 straight top 3s?
Yeah, another high banked short track, so I'm looking forward to it. So had some good speed there last night in the late model, so hopefully we can figure out this qualifying thing and start up front and maybe stay up front.
Alrighty, well, congratulations to you, Zach, on your 3rd place run here in the street stocks, and we wish you luck later on in the late models, or the super late models.
One of those things, yeah. Well, hopefully we'll talk to you later, Winston. Thanks.
Yes, sir. Alrighty, that was your 3rd place finisher here tonight. Now to talk to our 2nd place finisher. Oh, so close. Brian Gravel, you got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Alrighty, well, 50 laps green, and you guys made it exciting all the way down to the wire. The 22 machine, I should say, had a little bit of a shaky start there. Kind of lost some track position in those opening laps, but you gained it back throughout the run. And for those final 15 or so laps, you put a lot of pressure on the one machine of Austin Godfrey, but it looked like that outside lane was a little bit too tough here tonight.
Yes, sir. I mean, at the start of the race, man, we coming out of 2, I had the wheel cranked and it wouldn't turn, and I finally just got out of the gas and stood on it again, and it cut, and got stuck in that 3 wide situation. But, you know, with a good group of drivers, we got around it, no incidents, and then I just kind of settled back in and just figured out what to do, because I was kind of lost coming into it. I still didn't feel like I had enough speed, and then figured out my entry and my drive off, and from there I just worked my way up to the front and was hoping to get around Godfrey, but I didn't really get a chance to set him up like I wanted to. But it's all right. He drove a really good race. He deserved that win.
Yeah, it was definitely a good battle between the two of you. You did everything you could there in the 22. Maybe a couple more laps and you would have had a better opportunity to set him up, but you did what you could and you put on a good race while you did it. Who do you have to thank here tonight for a 2nd place run, Brian?
I'd like to thank Napa Auto Parts, Scrub Out Cancer, Oliver Motorsports, and I'd like to thank you for putting all this on. And also I'd like to thank Justin Coleman for the paint.
Alrighty, well, later on this evening, we got the super late model portion of tonight's events. Last week, you went to Victory Lane in the super late models in race number 1 of the All-Star Race weekend, or week. What can you do to back up that performance later on at Southern National?
I'm hoping just to be able to really get settled in. I haven't turned any laps there this week, so I think what I'm just going to need to focus on is really biggest part is entry, man, because if you're tight through center, somebody can roll up under you. So I think I'm really going to have to focus on entry and just hopefully the corner flows together and get good drive off and just kind of keep my nose clean, because, I mean, it's a tight track, so a lot can happen there and it happens quick.
Yes, it definitely does. We saw it last night in the late model stock division, a couple big incidents, especially on corner exit. Things definitely happen faster at Southern National, so you got to keep the nose clean. But nonetheless, congratulations to you on a 2nd place run here in the street stocks, and we wish you luck later on in the supers.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Yep. Alrighty, and now to talk to the man of the hour for the first time in his street stock showdown career, Austin Godfrey. Your winner, Austin Godfrey, up in the broadcast booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Alrighty, well, for the first time in your career, You hold the checkered flag in the Street Stock Showdown division. How do you feel after win number 1?
I feel really good, man. I finally got the monkey off my back. I mean, I had a shot at this 3 times, and just the luck didn't go my way. But finally, I had the luck on my side today. Man, I feel really good, man.
Yeah, it's definitely got to feel good. I mentioned in the broadcast earlier on, you've had a lot of speed in the street stock, and you've been there at the end many, many times and had some pretty good runs. Just things have not gone your way. And tonight they did, and finally, the one machine sits in victory lane. Who do you have to thank for a win at the fairgrounds?
47 Speed Shop. You for all you do for us. You know, putting on the show, and bumping around on YouTube, and yeah, that's about it.
Alrighty, Austin. Well, we've got one more race this evening. We've got the Super Late Model Division at Southern National. How do you feel about your chances going into there and potentially sweeping the night?
I feel pretty good. The car was kind of loose. I practiced a little bit, but overall, I feel pretty good about that race too. We'll see how we go.
Alrighty, well, you've been improving in the Super Late Models. Hopefully you can have a good run there. But congratulations to you on win number 1 here in the Street Stock Showdown.
Thank you, man.
Yes, sir. Alrighty, folks. And that was your race winner, Austin Godfrey. We'll get the finishing results up on screen for you guys so you guys can see them one more time. Austin Godfrey, Brian Gravel, Chris Smith, Brandon Elvis, Adam Fulford, your top 5. Then it's Jeremiah Woods Jr., James Pileski, Zach Murphy, Easton Swain, Brady Cox. That's your top 10. And rounding out your field, Logan Drumheller, Brandon Kelly, Kyle Heinzelman, Drew Mason, and Mark Fuqua in the 15th spot. Thank you guys for watching the Street Stock Showdown portion of tonight's events. Hop on over to the other stream for the Super Late Model, and we will get that race up momentarily. It's going to be about 30 minutes until the qualifying session. Broadcast should be up in about 25, so go grab a drink, get some popcorn, do what you need to do, but we'll see you guys over there. Thank you guys for watching the WD Broadcasting Network. I am your host, Winston Deal, signing it off here in the Street Stock Showdown. Peace.